My name is Eve Rydberg, and my background in art is I started out as an actor, and I've transitioned into, I still act, but I also direct and produce films, and I sometimes do production design and costumes and every other thing because I'm an independent filmmaker and you have to wear a lot of hats.
My name is Esperanza. I have an arts background. I grew up with artist parents. My mom's a photographer, my dad's a painter and kind of like inventor, and I don't remember a time when art wasn't a part of my life. I started doing films when I was like, 14, 15, something. I made my first film, what I consider to be my first film, and fell in love with the medium, and I realized I didn't ever want to do anything other than that. So I've kind of structured my life around that.
Some of my earliest memories and interactions with cinema were at our art house cinemas because my mom would always take me to these movies. I'm from Minneapolis, and there's a great couple of theaters there, but one of them's called the Uptown Theater, and she just was always dragging me along to these movies, and sometimes they were maybe movies I shouldn't be seeing because I was a little young for them, but either way they expanded my idea of what storytelling could be in this really magical way, and really made me want to learn how to tell stories and be a part of the whole world. So I think I could thank Art House Cinema for that.
Yeah, I have a similar background. I grew up, we weren't allowed to watch TV, but we could watch movies, so I grew up watching some pretty arty movies and going to cinemas, and it was just always a place of reverence, kind of like a church for me, the cinema. And as I developed my tastes and was able to kind of choose where I was getting my media from and my cinema from, my taste always fell way more into art house, independent theaters where you could see foreign films and indie films and art house films. And I grew up in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and the Screen, the Jean Cocteau, CCA, these were local theaters that really, showed some pretty diverse and interesting films and were pretty influential. And then, moving on from there just ended up becoming a huge part of my life.
Well, I think that being able to share a diverse amount of films and diverse amount of voices is super important, and then also to have the space to see a movie in a cinema with a bunch of other people is such a different experience than watching something alone on your computer. And so I think keeping these spaces open and keeping them as places that people can come and share in a piece of art that is interesting or unique or hard to find, or we've seen a couple of things on film this weekend, which has just been, it's always a treat to get to see that kind of stuff and
actually projected.
Yeah, actually projected. And I think and also what a beautiful building the Capitol Theater is. I don't think that you get to see theaters in their sort of original state the way that this one is very often, and so it seems like it's a super special place.
Yeah, I think kind of building off that, I travel a lot and I move around a lot, and in every part of the country there's always, the abandoned theaters, historic theaters. They've been repurposed into something else, and it is really rare to see historic theaters that are still functional and that are still screening films. And it is really special because you take part in a history that's so much older than you personally are, and it extends into a history of cinema, something that's so transcendent and so universal, and to actually sit in a physical space that has had theater or vaudeville screenings, art, and take part in that history is very special. So it's a treat to be here.
Yeah. My name's Eve Rydberg.
I'm Esperanza.
And we are creators.